Renting video games. I remember like it was yesterday. My pockets were even the same back then. As a kid, you only have a select few games to play, unless it was your birthday or you got your hands on a thick stack of cash. Otherwise, you were stuck with what you had. Eventually, you would play all your games over and over and over again, leading to this exact problem. There are no games here! That's where the rental store comes in. A magical place filled with so many games, movies, and gumball machines. All of this, for the low price of cheap, made the rental store irreplaceable for me. Again, with pockets like these, what was I supposed to do? Save money? When I could just rent a game for a fraction of the price for up to a week, and in turn, having a larger variety of games to play all the time? It's so simple, even young me could do the math. I was even able to leverage my own grades for some sweet free rentals, and let me tell you, those straight A's were worth something alright. And not to mention, the rental store was a very persuasive tool in order to get an undisclosed child to go to the dentist. I've been there hundreds of times. The magical store that was Blockbuster. What the heck is this? I know everyone's heard of Blockbuster, but Family Video? I mean, the store I went to was once a Blockbuster. One day it was blue and yellow, and then the next, green and orange, fun for the whole family. Either way, it served the same purpose, supplying entertainment. The store was laid out like this. The entrance was here, and right over there was the game corner. And horror movies were laid out right beside it. So darting off in that direction, blocking 50% of my vision in order not to get traumatized for the day, I was there. Heaven. From the Wii to the Xbox 360, it was here where I was able to experience so many video games that I wouldn't have been able to play otherwise. And to think, my most cherished experience from Family Video would have to be... Is that Goku?
Hey, it's me, Goku!
Dragon Ball Raging Blast. This game was my bread and butter. I grew up without cable television, so my only source of stimulating content was Saturday morning cartoons, and let me tell you, I watched this stuff religiously. Wake up, watch whatever aired at 7, Sonic X next at 8, and around 9 or 10, Dragon Ball time. Watching from the Saiyan Saga all the way to Cell, practicing the Kamehameha, enduring rigorous training on the trampoline, and thinking that Frieza was an old woman? It's safe to say, I was obsessed with Dragon Ball as a kid. So of course I picked up the only Dragon Ball game I could find. Dragon Ball Raging Blast. Yeah, it really does scream late 2000s 3D anime game, but that's its appeal, I think. Or it could be because it included the entire Dragon Ball Z storyline, which is what they keep on recycling for Dragon Ball games, and it works because we keep buying them, dang it! Raging Blast would introduce me to storylines I hadn't even heard about. Boo, who? Gotenks? Why is this so hard? And even beyond the main storyline, Raging Blast dares to ask, what if? The what if stories were a fantastic idea with so many fun scenarios like awkward family reunion. The Ginyu Force tryouts. Oh, okay, I guess everyone has Super Saiyan 3 now. Who is the strongest sideline character? And are you Team Vegito or Gogeta? Gogeta, I find the earrings tacky and the vest cooler. And the character roster was beautiful. Only one Goku. Who summoned Shenron to make that wish? But I don't know how to feel about 3 Trunks being here. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta finally became a thing. Good. I wonder what I would look like without eyebrows. Oh, and the gameplay? Well, again, it was a late 2000s 3D anime game. Good, but a little rough around the edges. However, it still delivered a satisfying experience to a Dragon Ball obsessed kid such as myself. I rented this game over and over and over again, and it was by far my favorite game to rent from Family Video. It's just too bad it's never been re-released. You hear me, Bandai?
No.
Moving on, Pokemon was another franchise I loved and did rent a few games for. That I didn't play much of. Look, video games are a commitment, in sickness and in health. Since I could only rent a game for up to a week, renting a mainline Pokemon game did not mix well. I'll only be able to get through about a quarter of the game before it's time to return it. And the next chance I get, some kid named John created a new save file and he chose Chikorita. Putting aside the mainline games, I also got to try some Pokemon spin-offs like Pokepark. It's a 3D action game where you get to play as Pikachu and a few other Pokemon. This was so good! Unfortunately, I didn't get to play it for all that long, but it was such a fun and dynamic experience that I really hope they bring back someday. It was definitely a much better experience than... But the animations! Pokemon Battle Revolution is a bare-bones battle simulator with mostly good animations that held my attention for 5 seconds. Compared to previous 3D Pokemon games, even Stadium 1 and 2, this one was lacking a lot of polish and features, and that may be because, whoa, Diamond and Pearl are just around the corner, we need that brand synergy! You're pretty much screwed if you play this game and don't own a copy of any Gen 4 game, because you'll be stuck with rentals. Being stuck with rentals automatically limits what Pokemon you can use, and for what? Battling? By yourself? I'm sorry, the game was bare bones and disappointed me a lot, and will go exactly where it belongs. Imagine waiting so long for two of your favorite icons in gaming to come together, and it's at the Olympics. I did not have to imagine. Mario and Sonic at the 2012 London Olympic Games was not bad actually, a favorite to rent even. Multiplayer was the main reason why. I would have so much fun playing this game with my siblings and friends, and let me tell you, I waggled that Wii Remote the fastest in the 200-meter dash. Sonic, don't let me down! That reminds me, I also rented the obscure but awesome Mario Sports Mix. It's an odd Mario sports style developed by Square Enix. That's a compilation of dodgeball, volleyball, hockey, and basketball. Finally, the Canadian sports game. I love the fact that Nintendo got Square Enix, of all companies, to make 2 Mario sports titles like there was no other choice. No, only the people who made Final Fantasy VII can make Mario Basketball. The composer for that game is even working on Final Fantasy 16, wow. On the plus side, it did mean we got these guys alongside Mario characters. Yeah, imagine Mario partnering up with Final Fantasy characters to start ballin'? Crazy! Quit imagining, it's real! Final Fantasy, and a bit of Dragon Quest, and Mario in a basketball game was the crossover I didn't know I needed. Come on, this cactus. It's brilliant. Also, this is White Mage, like from Final Fantasy. I could have sworn she was an original Mario character that they just left behind due to legal reasons. Wouldn't be the first. Either way, I hope that she and Black Mage come back in some way, because come on, these designs are fire. I'm still processing the fact that a basketball game was the big crossover between Final Fantasy and Mario, and it just makes me wish we had more. Right. Mario Sports Mix is, well, a mixed game. Each sport, while all good, needed to be fleshed out more, but instead the focus of one game is split between 4, leaving us with 4 half-baked games. That didn't stop me from renting it multiple times, but I just wish it was better. Again, I do hope that Square Enix partners up with Nintendo one more time to pump out another one of these, or just a Mario basketball game in the future. I need to see Cloud Strife and Sephiroth ballin'. Please, Square! Now those were just a few games of the multitude that I rented. Not all of them were winners, of course, but that's part of the experience. Being able to try out a game you've never seen or heard of before, and getting a better impression of it than you ever could have from a commercial. It was like playing a demo, except that you had the full game. For a limited time. Come close. Closer. Now I know this is about renting video games, but what if I told you you could buy games at a rental store? The Forbidden Act was possible, just not for the most popular games there. What, you thought this was a charity? Of course they weren't going to sell their most popular games. They were the ones being rented the most. The games that could be bought were mostly shovelware. It would have to take some kind of cataclysmic event in order for Family Video to even consider selling any of their games. And one did. The Family Video that I had spent years at was finally shutting down for good, and they were selling all of their games. Of course, I didn't know until the day of, so when I got there, most of the good games were already gone. However, I still managed to pick up a gem. It felt right that the last game I would ever get from a Family Video would be a Sonic game, and did I ever play it? Sonic Generations is a really good game, I don't need to tell you that, but for me, it was also the swan song of a place I will always remember fondly. That was until I sold it years later and got it on PC. I would have said mods were the reason why, but I haven't gotten any yet, so I have sinned. But, in a surprise twist, there was still one family video open in my area, but it was also shutting down soon. And let me tell you, if the word cheap had a definition, this store would be it. It was like a Steam sale in real life. So many games, even current year ones, for like $30 or less. There were so many games to choose from. Donkey Kong Country Returns, Super Mario Galaxy, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon. So many games to choose from, and I picked up one game. It was Kirby Planet Robobot for the Nintendo 3DS. I got it for $5 and then gave it to my sister for her birthday. This was her say happy birthday. Kirby Planet Robot is probably the best 2D game in the series, but how would I know? Because I haven't beaten it yet. Anyway, soon after, that family video closed down too and now remains as a shell of its former self. The rental business was a popular one, thriving for years in peace. But that all changed when the streaming services attacked. One by one, the amount of rental stores would dwindle until none were left alive under Netflix's iron fist. Except one, existing where only a rental store could. No, not Ohio, but Bend, Oregon. This is the last Blockbuster. Netflix is even making a show about it. That's just messed up. Look, all I'm saying is that professionals have standards. With the rise of the internet came online stores with demos and subscription services that have definitely improved the model of renting games immensely. I mean, all I have to do is mention Game Pass and that proves my point. Just like movies to Netflix, so did video games to online services. Though subscription services may have replaced stores for the better, the renting experience is something that cannot as easily be replicated, even with online stores today. It's every time you ever went to the store. What games were there? What could you buy? Bringing in your grades to get some free rentals, and most importantly, picking out a game in person is something that is just lost when it's relegated to just staring at a screen and waiting for a game to download. Yeah, this is much faster, but this is more eventful. And now not only the games, but my experience getting the games is going to stick with me way more than just downloading it. And I will never forget all the good memories I've had renting video games over the years. Although I still do collect games, so the feeling isn't gone entirely. And hey, these online services do provide a lot of games, so at the very least, I definitely won't be bored. There are no games here either!